If I'm a business owner, I'm considering a partnership with Domain Computer Services. What about those instances where the issue is not something that can be resolved immediately? Is there a specific escalation process that's followed? Is it taken offline? What does that look like?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And a lot of companies handle this differently. And at Domain, we've even moved around how we handle this process to best fit our customers. And the answer is that dispatch is educated in what each engineer is able to handle in terms of complexity. So, based on the details that the end user provides us in the support requests, plus any additional details that our dispatch team is able to get out of that user, they are then trained to assign it to the appropriate resource in the appropriate amount of time. So the goal is to get that right on the first try. Now, that being said, that's not always possible. We're all humans and each situation is different. If it turns out to be that that initial engineer cannot get it done, one, they're documenting everything they're doing and everything they've tried and the situation. That way, when it does get what's called escalated up to the next level of engineer, that engineer does not need to go through and ask you all those same questions again, state your issue again, all of that. That should not be it. There should be a very clear next step from that engineer that initially got it to the higher level engineer on what needs to be done next. And Jeremy, I'll clarify too here that a lot of the times the engineering levels comes down to security permissions, meaning that a basic issue could come in and it looks like it's pretty basic and it could be a quick fix. What'll often come out though is that there's a security level approval needed from either somebody that has the ability to approve those things, or internally at the customer site, a security change needs to be made, which we need what we call authorized contact to validate that that change can be made. So a lot of the times it's really not even the skill set. The skill set is there. It's really the permission. And in today's day and age, if you have a managed service provider that is just allowing any user in the organization to request any changes that they want, that is not a great way to be doing it. And a lot of people are getting in a lot of trouble for basic things that could have been stopped from a checks and balance standpoint that are just passing through because it's speed, it's quick, and the user's demanding it. A lot of times those engineers are trained in how to discuss appropriately the need to go get an authorized contact's approval on a security thing instead of just doing it. Like, why can't you do it? Well, there's reasons for that. So yeah, those are the two things there.
Yeah, it makes sense. And as a business owner, that would make me feel better. On the original question of escalation, it sounds like I have some insight into that process, that Domain is also proactive to prevent it from needing to be escalated in the future or decreasing the amount of time. And then from a permission standpoint, if that's the actual issue, I have some insight or control as a business owner. So the common theme that I'm picking up on here, Anthony, is proactivity. And I know I've heard a number of sales calls now where we've discussed the idea of spending as little time as we can on this quarter of the 4 blocks, this 1/4, which leads us to the other.